Reports coming from the White House indicate that the Trump administration is ending all support and aid to United Nations peacekeeping groups in Somalia. Now, understand that cutting off this aid would be devastating to the people of Somalia who are currently being under heavy attacks and bombardment from one of the most deadly terrorist groups in Africa. To sustain these military operations and stand a chance against the terror groups, Somalia depends upon military cooperations from neighboring countries such as Ethiopia contributing thousands of troops, Kenya contribute thousands of troops, and also Djibouti contributing thousands of troops, all to help Somalia. Not only that, you have Egypt from North Africa also contributing thousands of troops to help Somalia. So you can clearly see that Somalia depends on troops from neighboring countries to withstand these terror attacks in their home soil. This United Nations office in Somalia provides its fighters with the fuel, clean water, medical services, tactical air support, and heavy armored vehicles, which they need to maintain their military operations against the terror groups in Somalia. Now, all of these items listed are being heavily funded by the American government. Obviously, the American government does not cover all of the funding required to sustain this large-scale military operation against the terror groups ravaging Somalia. The UK, for example, has donated 75 million euros to Somalia to help fight off these insurgents. Now, as impressive as this may sound, it is obviously nothing compared to what America brings to the table, which accumulates to billions of dollars. In fact, the mere threat of shutting down this aid was enough to trigger an emergency union between members of the African Union. But unlike other American foreign policies, which are difficult to explain, we can actually explain why this is happening to Somalia. One of the main reasons being that a high-profile member from the Somali government heavily criticized Donald Trump and his administration for using the divide and conquer tactics to the people of Somalia. Although the official later deleted the tweet after some minutes, but the damage had already been done. And this was when, just in a matter of few days, Washington announced that they are pulling all funding for the people of Somalia to help them fight terror groups. Now, the divide and conquer tactics is not just that Israel, which is considered an American ally, recognize the people of Somaliland as an independent nation. But what infuriated the Somali government was that Donald Trump sent high-profile delegates to Somalia to meet with the governor of a different state outside the central government, to discuss security issues related to terrorism, thereby bypassing the central government. And this is very bad because it undermines the sovereignty of Somalia. Imagine if Qatar sends a delegate to America and then they go to Texas or they go to Georgia to discuss with the governor on issues related to national security. That is undermining the position of Washington, D.C. So this infuriated the Somali government and forced them to release a powerful statement condemning the act. But the Somali government was terrified of what Trump would do and they deleted the tweet. However, this has enraged Trump and forced him to cut all aids to Somalia. Now, it is unclear whether the aid would indeed be cut off because the deadline is December. But we can understand that Trump is maybe using this as a way to pressure and suffocate Somalia into dismissing their sovereignty. And now this is coming after Israel recognized Somaliland. Now, Israel recognizing Somaliland means that Washington has recognized it.
Israel has the same right to conduct diplomatic relations as any other sovereign state.
we can understand that this is a divide and conquer tactics meant to balkanize Somalia, probably to divide the country into three different regions, just as they did to Sudan. So this cutting off funding is just a diplomatic pressure to force the government to not question whatever Washington does to their people. So thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel. I will continue to update you on geopolitical analysis. Thank you.